Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcast network. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Rod. Rod, Indiana, the state, signed an 8-year deal with the WWE to not only bring in one major pay-per-view, three major pay-per-views, and other events that we normally wouldn't get. Let's see, Royal Rumble 2025, WrestleMania 2-night event coming up in the future, SummerSlam 2-night event coming up in the future, Lucas Oil Stadium. This is unprecedented. It's the most money WWE's gotten from a city that is in the continental United States.
I was gonna say.
First of all, wow, we get to go to a lot of live events because it's 12 miles from my house.
That is exactly true, Jimmy. The first thing that here's how I want to put it down to the people. All right. The way that this news came down to me is you, Jimmy, my guy, my podcast partner, you let me know in our wrestling group thread the first time you caught wind of it. You said, look at this. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then a couple of days later, a few other people who sort of heard wind before the official announcement said something to me. And then the day that the official announcement was made, literally every single person in my life was contacting me and saying, Rod, oh my goodness, wrestling is coming to Indiana. And what I want to say to that is thank you. Thank you to all of you people. I now feel proud that I am accepted as a wrestling insider, a wrestling fanatic, a man who would not miss a wrestling event. And Jimmy, you're right. You and I are going to be able to go to a Royal Rumble, a SummerSlam, a WrestleMania, a Raw after WrestleMania, a SmackDown before Royal Rumble and SummerSlam. All of these events are going to be in our town. And our guy, Dax Storm, Jimmy, who has joined us on the podcast network, is literally walking distance from the stadium. I can't say how happy I am in words, so I'll make one up, Jimmy. Scrumptious.
Everyone should be scrumptious right now. My son Jackson, who has been on this podcast before, obviously, has asked for years to go to a Royal Rumble. I'm like, dude, I mean, like, you know, we can't fly to New Jersey. We can't fly to Seattle. You know, I love you. Love you. We're gonna drive up to WrestleMania. We're gonna hang out with Dax and your family and my family, and we're gonna walk over and we're gonna watch a 2-night WrestleMania. We're gonna watch the road. I think we're
gonna bring the people together, right, Jimmy? We're gonna bring people together, and we are gonna celebrate, and we're gonna have a good time. And entertainment is gonna be had by people, and commerce is gonna be had in the city of Indianapolis.
Oh,
and
huge!
Hotel rooms are gonna be booked, and restaurants are gonna be full, and bars are gonna be full, and people are gonna be walking around looking at somebody yelling, "Yeah!" You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be happening. Like it's just gonna be a great time, and I want everyone to get ready and embrace wrestling. And the best way to embrace wrestling before it comes back to the Hoosier State is for all of these people, Jimmy, who listen to this podcast because they're friends of ours and live in the Hoosier State, to start embracing all the storylines we cover on this podcast.
Yes. Indianapolis is such a great city for huge events like this. The traffic patterns, the hotels, the walking distance for everything. You know, you're going to have the Raw after WrestleMania 3 blocks from WrestleMania. You don't have to take Uber. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
You've got 4 different hotels that are all within blocks of both stadiums.
Now in February, it could be 4 inches of snow, 5 inches of snow.
There's no doubt. Question. But let's not forget when the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl of all bowls itself, rolled to this wonderful Naptown city. It was great weather, Jimmy. All right,
it was
so it can't happen. Weather. Now the NBA All-Star game,
not as much.
Well, maybe we could have wished for better weather, but 6 of one, half dozen the other. Maybe it'll be warm.
I am very excited for that. Speaking of exciting, we have a new SmackDown writer, and SmackDown was a terrific show. We have a new, we had a really good Raw, and it got a lot of the ratings were good on that. I think one thing that we did have a live show last week. I was in a truck, I believe. We did not have a recorded show because
again, it was tell the people you were not kidnapped, Jimmy, because I had a lot of people contact me and asked me if you were still kidnapped, even though you told people you were not
The
kidnapped.
police might have been called for somebody sitting in the back of a truck with the computer
Right.
screen on, but yeah, it's
Right.
fine. We talked it with their fans. So the fact that the WWE went all in on Chad Gable not being shot in the head last week was hilarious. Triple H mentioned it. Michael Cole mentioned it. Everyone mentioned it. It's like, yeah, he didn't get shot in the head. It's fine. He ain't dead. I just thought that was really funny that they actually just kind of went all in on it.
You know what I think is actually the most chef's kiss about that whole thing, Jimmy, is that like it opened up the door for them to also spin it forward and let people know what Netflix was going to be about, right? Because literally a story came out soon after all of that about how Netflix was not going to censor those kinds of things, and the WWE is kicking around the idea of having a little bit more adult themed storylines when they come to Netflix.
So Triple H was on Pat McAfee, which again, that's going to be a lot of great content on McAfee's show too over the next couple of years. Really horrible situation for McAfee because there was like some storyline stuff for the Wyatt.
I texted you. Let's let people inside here, right?
For
the wrestling group thread. The minute that Michael Cole said, "Don't read anything to Pat McAfee," I texted you immediately. Said, "No, Jimmy, I'm reading something into Pat McAfee."
Yeah, and I thought the Wyatt Six was going to bring him out at the end because they were kind of going that way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, his father-in-law passed away kind of unexpectedly, which just was kind of a.
So again, Pat, I apologize for thinking that something more
that,
nefarious was up.
Yeah, that kind of sucked there. So, thoughts and prayers to him for sure.
But the Wyatt Six, Jim, let's just go there. Let's just go to the Wyatt Six.
Okay,
let's go to the
debut for Wyatt Six. I thought was done excellently. It was weird.
I can't deny that.
People, the camera work was fantastic. So we talked a little bit about that already. Love the debut. The follow-up is key. Did you buy the follow-up?
Here's what I will say. I gotta admit, I absolutely freaking loved the videotape, right? Like the whole ring of it, right? And like the videotape being in the Amazon box with like the black electrical tape, right? Like all of the Michael Cole opening it up. I dug all of that. But here's what I'll say, Jim, right? And this is exactly what I texted to you again, bringing folks in who, if they want to join our Patreon someday, they can be on our wrestling group thread, right? That might be some level that we let the folks in who want to support this podcast someday, to let know the text that I send to you immediately when I get pissed off at something that happens on Raw or SmackDown, and I immediately send a text off to you, which again, because sometimes I'll watch this on tape delay, which will be out of nowhere, and Jimmy is expected.
It's so funny.
Jimmy is just expected immediately to text me back with the wrestling thought, and God bless Jimmy, he always does. All right. So my thoughts immediately when this Wyatt Six happened were, Jimmy, I texted you this simple question. I thought Bo Dallas was Uncle Howdy.
I love you so much. I'm like, he is. I believe the actual quote was, he is. And I just, oh goodness.
So here's my thing,
Bo
Jim.
Dallas is Uncle Howdy. Yes.
I don't like weird. Okay. I don't like weird. Okay. I understand that, like, I'm somebody. Let me bring in a couple of an outside thing here. I like Oscar movies. All right. I love the Oscar chase. There are certain Oscar movies that are not for me. Okay. So I understand that there is art that doesn't necessarily hit the receptors for a Rod Allen Morgan Jr., son of Rod Morgan Sr. and Judy Morgan. Right. I get that there are certain things that like don't trip me up that trip other people up, but like, I just am not a weird guy. So like, if you give me the Wyatt Six that like wipe out everybody behind backstage, that is a horror movie to me. That is like revenge. That is like, we are about violence, which is sort of a wrestling thing I understand. Cool. But then if the next week you give me a guy in a mask interviewing a guy who's supposed to be the guy behind the guy in the mask, I'm already going to be like, those are questions I don't want to ask myself. I'm out, Jimmy. What do you think?
So you like an Oppenheimer, but you really don't like a Ford versus Ferrari or Parasite. You know, you're not really into Parasite.
Bingo. No, you're right. Like Oppenheimer, Ford versus Ferrari, I'm all in because I know it's up there, right? Like these are like boom, 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 signposts here, moving on. but like weird where I'm just supposed to be left in my thoughts. As smart as I think I am, Jimmy, weird arty stuff.
You think you're smart.
escapes me. Yeah, no, I definitely think I'm smart. And I think our listeners know that I think I'm smart.
For those of you watching or listening on Facebook, YouTube, or X, please throw your comments. Do you buy the Wyatt Six or not? So I think, first of all, the performance by Bo Dallas was terrific. They brought a lot of realism into that fake and
You're not wrong there.
Like, they brought a lot of realism in there. So I think we need to look at this for what it is. It was a videotape, right? That was given to Michael Cole. So it wasn't live. So we can expect that maybe, I don't know, Nikki Cross knows how to edit. I mean, she's got the Adobe plan.
Nikki Cross. I love that Nikki Cross is like somehow the AV expert.
Yeah, she's the AV expert. So then we can have it's this conflicting, because Uncle Howdy is what brought him and his brother back together to then do what they wanted to do in the WWE, right? His brother passed away. So now the real person, Bo Dallas, or whatever, I can't remember his actual first name. But Bo Dallas is now, that was taken away from him. So they have to evolve. And I think that's kind of the whole message of, this was taken away. I am so angry. We're going to evolve. And I think I saw this on, maybe Bully Ray said this or something, but it would be cool now to then have Uncle Howdy over the next couple of weeks interview the other members of Wyatt Six and say, this is what was taken away from me. Dexter Lumis, I was a star in NXT. I was in one of the best feuds. I had all this, and I got to marry, my sweetheart.
Yeah, he did.
It was taken away when I came to the main roster. Eric Rowan
involved in a storyline with the Miz, right?
Eric Rowan writes itself. Okay, how everyone's dying.
I got beat by The Rock in 8 seconds.
Yes. Alexa Bliss. Joe Gacy was supposed to be the next big Kevin Owens type person, taken away from him.
I like
it could
you
be
just
good.
Said Alexa Bliss. So you still believe that we're getting Alexa Bliss involved in this somehow? You believe that?
I think so somehow. I do.
Do you believe that like she sort of like harnesses the Wyatt Six into their actual first wrestling match, or do you think that they'll wrestle somebody before she gets involved?
They will wrestle someone before she gets involved.
Are they going to wrestle Chad Gable, or are they wrestling somebody else?
It may be. Yeah, I mean, he's been kind of there. Jey Uso, someone else that we've talked about. Again, it's how they continue to follow up on it. Nikki Cross has so much to talk about.
She looks great. She looks great. Listen, don't get me wrong. She looks great. The whole thing looks great. Listen, Jimmy, I'm not going to deny you the visuals. All right. I'm not going to deny you the visuals. All right. But what I would say to you is I think that somebody somewhere who's writing all of these segments has a grand plan and like an idea and like a thing that they're trying to say to somebody. And what I'm saying is I don't get any of it, but I'm still not out, if that makes any sense.
We do. We just have to see what the wrestling looks like, Rod. I mean, we do.
That's where I'm at. Like, I don't.
I think we're at the point though that we can see it play out. We don't think it's going to be bad. You know,
I certainly don't think it's going to be bad. But like, I don't know if we're going to go from, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit later, I hope. But I don't know if we're going to go from a level of where like the Wyatt Six debuts completely wiping out like 35 people backstage. And then the next thing we know, they're literally just going to be fighting Chad Gable for like a mid-card match to just get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, right? And so like what I would say is that like if we're going to put stuff on a balance beam, it's not cool to wipe out 35 people backstage and then like all you're going to do is maybe get the Intercontinental Championship. Like those things don't match up.
The goal right now is to get Bo Dallas the world title. That's got to be the goal.
And that's fine because Cody Rhodes doesn't have a goddamn thing to do. So fine if it's Bo Dallas, but you just got to get me there.
He's
Jimmy.
in 6-man tag team matches at
you just got to get me there, Jimmy, because I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you. I don't want to hate Cody, Jimmy. I don't, but you got to get me there.
Well, did Jacob Fatu get you there?
I did like Jacob Fatu. I did like that. I did.
Have you YouTubed Jacob Fatu at all?
I did not YouTube Jacob Fatu, but before either one of the Tongue of Aloans showed up, I thought Jacob Fatu was going to be the guy. So I had seen some stuff about him before the Tongue of Aloans showed up before him. So I kind of got a bit of a preview that way, but I haven't dived too deeply into the Fatu universe.
You have to only dive like 3 videos in and you're going to be sold. The guy is huge. The guy is agile. He
That
does some
movie,
amazing
he fucking
things.
busted. I just did an F word. I can't believe.
Yeah,
I
you
never
did.
cut.
Yeah, it's okay.
sorry,
Hey,
Jimmy.
Mountain Dew makes
Yeah.
you swear sometimes.
Little live wire, zero sugar. But listen, he did that from the top rope through the announce table. That hurt. All right. Like he
Yeah.
didn't hit that as much as he would have liked to. And like he landed right on the corner. Like that was some serious athleticism. So I'm in. But Jimmy,
Yeah, I think yes.
only reason I'm in is because
Yep.
I know what it may lead to. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, as much as I don't want to try to put down Jacob Fatu, the only reason I'm in is because I know what it may lead to.
I actually thought Paul Heyman was not feeling well on that was SmackDown, right? Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, SmackDown.
Yeah, that's
I
on SmackDown.
I honestly thought there was something wrong with him for how good he was acting, because I'm like, okay, he's acting, but like, is he actually gonna have a heart attack here? The whole CM Punk, please take me with you. Are you kidding me right now?
I sort of like
loved
that though. I sort of
I
like
loved it. I
Yeah.
loved every second of that.
because, like
I
you've
thought that
always
was
talked
terrific.
about, don't make us feel stupid for understanding past storylines, and that's what
Yes.
that was all about.
Yes, the relationship they've had, and I just love where that's going. Drew McIntyre quit on Raw. He
Let's get
just
into it.
walked
Like
out.
I almost feel bad, Jim, that we're going to get into this without Chris here, but we
I
just have
know
to.
it's,
Like you
it's
said,
really a
we
bad
just have
thing.
to. Shout
but-
out to Chris. We love him.
Yeah, we do.
But let's get into it.
McIntyre's a quitter. He quit on Raw. He said
Such
he
a
can't handle it.
bullshit move. Such a
Walked
bullshit
away.
move.
Walked away, never to come back. Not gonna lie though, see, and this sucks in this era because I loved the garage door going up. You
so
see
awesome.
Punk's body,
So
and then you
awesome.
see Drew McIntyre there. Chef's kiss, like you say, loved it. Would have been great 3 months from now. Okay,
Yeah.
would have been
Yeah.
even better. Even if like Punk had won a couple matches or come back for a while, but you got to go quick. You got to
But
go quick.
clearly
in this
Punk
day and
can't
age.
wrestle, right? Like that has to be
Yeah.
what we're dealing with, right? Clearly Punk can't wrestle.
And that one shot, I don't care if they keep doing it. I don't think it's going to get old. If it's something like this where they just follow him, and McIntyre carried him the whole way and just dropped him for dead, did the
Oh,
little
their
knee
one
down.
shots, honestly, the
Yeah, they're
WWE
real
one
good.
shots recently are just they're flexing their muscle. They're like Martin Scorsese and Goodfellas with their one shots recently, Jim. Come on.
Yeah, I thought that was terrific. The fact that McIntyre's just now going to be in the King of the Ring, or not King of the Ring, Money in the Bank qualifying match. Sure, why not? I mean, we knew he wasn't quitting anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, but he's losing that though, right? Because the whole thing that he said to Pierce, right? Like he's losing that match, and then he's going to go like threaten Pierce and still getting the match. Like,
we
that's clearly
have
where we're at, right?
we're looking at both the men's and women's Money in the Bank right now, having people that haven't gotten to the title yet, and that's interesting. We're going to try to, hey, Rod, we are going to try to elevate some people to another level.
Oh, the women
where
for sure.
in the past we have not. So I think that's an interesting thing that they're going with on this. I like that a lot.
But it's like you're right about that we're trying to elevate people within the Money in the Bank match, but
Yes.
we're also putting Seth Rollins in a match versus Damian Priest, like after not wrestling anybody. You know what I mean? So like, sure, we're trying to elevate somebody through the Money in the Bank match, but we're also like, hey, Seth, our guy, the revolutionary, Mr. Monday Night. You know what I mean? Like you come back and like we need you to save us and be the main eventer. So like you're not wrong that we're trying to elevate people, but we still have to have our tried and trues. And God bless my guy, Seth Rollins, for looking resplendent and being that at all times.
How much did you pop for that? You love that.
I had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea. I appreciate you if you knew it by not letting me know. I appreciate our guy, the Cleveland Crippler,
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Allen. Shout out to him, by the way. He's had a couple of little hell scenarios. Sounds like he's turned out on the other side. Shout out to you, Crippler. We're looking out
Yep.
for you here on the podcast, as always, brother. Nobody told me. So, like, the minute his music popped and he came out on Raw, I was absolutely freaking out. I was dancing around in the basement by myself, doing the Seth Rollins dance, wishing I was wearing as cool of a white hat as he was wearing that night. I love my guy, but don't think there's any situation where he beats Damian Priest on this match.
No, and this is a good time to have this match because Money in the Bank is all about Money in the Bank, and the title matches or a 6-man with Cody or whatever is just kind of secondary right now, which which works out well. But yeah, that was pretty
Which is
cool.
exciting for the WWE champion to be involved in the secondary 6-man match, right, Jamie?
It's what you do when you don't have a number one contender yet. And
But you should have a number one contender. Let's just talk about it, Jim. Let's just talk about it. Why are we not cooking the Randy Orton thing up yet? Why are we not? Why are we messing around with Randy Orton KO?
because we have to get through Money in the Bank, then we can focus on SummerSlam.
So you think
Okay.
that's all we're doing?
Yeah.
You think literally at the end of Money in the Bank, we're gonna get the Randy Orton turn? Like he's gonna like do something like are we gonna get it physically, or is it just gonna be like another little like weird camera shot?
I think it's going to be, they're going to win. Are they going to win? Bloodline needs to win. Bloodline needs to win.
I think Bloodline needs to win.
Bloodline needs to win. They're going to lose. Kevin Owens is going to get pinned. No question.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. Nobody
At
gets
the end-
beat up more than Kevin Owens. No one.
At the end of the match, there could be an RKO for Cody Rhodes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are you willing to predict that?
I don't think it's causing them to lose, but it will. I think I would. Well, no official predictions yet, but I think
you're right.
that
We
might
can't. You're right.
happen.
We can't give it all yet. But that's where I'm leaning. You're right. That I don't think that like Randy's going to turn in the middle of the match and make him lose, but like something's going to go down at the end of the match. Randy's not going to be real happy, and then all of a sudden RKO is going to be passed out to somebody, and then like we're on the turn, Jim.
We buried the lead, Rod. We are almost an hour into our podcasting time today, and we have not talked about the miscarriage of justice in the World Tag Team Championship main event, where Awesome Truth was defeated by the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan, Rod, and Dom, that shirt of Dom's.
Yeah.
I can't handle this anymore. I can't. It's too good.
Let me ask you this, Jimmy.
Finn Balor. I mean, everything is just
Finn
amazing.
Balor. I love that you went Balor. Look at you.
Yeah.
Shout out to the old school listeners of this podcast. Let me ask you this, Jim. If Liv Morgan takes almost everything from Rhea Ripley, does that do anything for you? Because that clearly seems where we're headed. So, like, does that do anything for you?
Yes, because Rhea Ripley's going to just kill her. She's going to kill everybody. Dom's dead. I mean, Dom is going to get killed. I mean, we're talking Hell in a Cell. We're talking thumbtacks. We're talking.
I think you're right.
I am so excited to see what they have in store for her return. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know her timetable, so that's kind of messing with me a little bit.
Will we see a full-fledged like Dom and Liv like arm in arms, like maybe a lip lock before Rhea comes back? Or will it like continue to be this like sort of nebulous situation where clearly Dom is like, I don't hate it, but I'm going to do something that at least makes it plausibly seem like I'm against it?
Did you delete the picture? That's all I'm asking. Did you delete your iCloud backup? Or is it still?
And are we going to see a Dom and Finn battle before we even see a Liv and Rhea battle? Which I think is probably true because Rhea had to go out injured and Finn Balor is still able-bodied and ready to fight.
Yeah. That's weird that they gave him the titles. So I think Liv is going to slowly work her way. She's maybe helps Damian Priest against Seth Rollins.
Stop it.
Well, because Damian Priest hates her, right? So maybe
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and that's why I don't like it.
And it just works her way in. Oh, I love this. This is really good. I like it.
Listen, Jimmy, let me ask you something about the tag team match. All right, let's go back to it because you know that I texted you this. All right, you knew it was going to come up on the podcast. All right.
Yes.
The Miz.
Yes.
Someone who is
Badass.
basically exactly there you go. Thank you. I love that. So the Miz is basically somebody who's lived in the WWE is like, oh, hey, and then he loses, right? Or, oh, I'm going to run away from this match. Or like, oh, no, don't really make me be in this match. Like, basically, the Miz has lived in that situation for a year and a half, okay? And then we are left with this R-Truth, Awesome Truth match against Balor and McDonough. And the Miz, oh, my God, like, he's lighting it up. Like, he's Chad Gable. He's Daniel Bryan. He's Shawn Michaels. Like, he's just lighting it up, right? He's just doing all the moves that anybody's ever seen. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. We haven't seen him wrestle like this since Gunther. We're like, okay, cool. What are we doing with this, right? And what are we doing with it, Jimmy? Other than to have him completely lose on a punch to the face and a drop kick. punch to the face and a drop kick, and we're to believe that the Miz is just completely laid out for the whole last 2.5 minute business for R-Truth to be hugged by Liv Morgan, to be kicked by Finn, to be moved over into the corner, to be jumped off at the top rope, to the coup de grace, to all of the number. Miz, after the man we were shown for that match, Jimmy, was laid out by a punch and a drop kick. You say what?
He's the Miz, of course. Of course he was. You know, I mean, it is what it is. We talked about this in our text thread as well. It's a great story at WrestleMania. They were hot. Everything was terrific. And then that's where it ended. You know, you're not going to do anything else.
Jim, explain to me why.
Because it's the Miz, Rod.
No.
It's the Miz.
No, Jimmy, stop it. It doesn't have anything to do with the Miz.
Your Celtics are on the clock, by the way.
Thank you. Explain to me why we have landed on a scenario where, okay, we have these, I'm going to give you a make good lose match. Who does a make good lose match work for, Jim? Honestly, explain it to me. Is it nothing as simple as, hey, you are a big, bad badass who never wants to lose, so I'm going to give you this little bone even though you are going to lose? Or is it more than that?
It's the badass bone that's not going to lose, Rod. I mean, that's what it is. That's how you listen. It's cute. It's fun. They have a role. In the grand scheme of things, the Miz is what he is. Yeah, he had a really good match there, and that's fine. He didn't want to wrestle because he had to commentate, but it is what it is, Rod. You got to move the story on.
But no,
I'm sorry.
But see, Jimmy, that's my point. The Miz has been a guy who's been happy to lose many times before.
Yes.
Why did we have to make him look like an absolute badass, like a road warrior, before he finally lost? We haven't made him look that good for a while. That's more my point here, Jim.
But it was, how long was that for? How long was this badass road warrior for? It was
for at least 3.5 minutes of the match. R-Truth is doing
3.5 minutes.
Just wearing guys out.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes of a match. Yeah, he had a good
match.
But
see, you say 3.5 minutes, but nobody gets any more than like 5 or 6 to fight on TV anymore anyway. So why does that matter? Just admit you hate the Miz, Jim. Just admit it.
I think the Miz serves a terrific role, but he doesn't need to be champion.
That's a garbage answer. That's a garbage answer by you.
I don't hate the Miz. I think the Miz does a great job. He's been in WWE for like 20 years.
Jimmy,
of course
he
does a good job.
Admit that you hate him.
Well,
Jimmy,
admit it.
Admit it. You hated the Real World. You hated the Miz when he's on Tough Enough. You hate the word awesome. You hate French Canadian women. Just admit it, Jim.
It's so funny because the Miz on the Miz and I'm Awesome is such a great face chant. Yes. And they've tried to turn him face so many times and it really just never works and the fans never do it. I just think that's terrific.
You're right about that, but we're getting closer is what I'm saying to you, Jim. You should.
No, we're not.
We're getting closer.
Hey, let's break up the Miz and R-Truth. Let's see. Let's do that again.
R-Truth is 53. We got to break them up, dude. R-Truth can't keep wrestling matches. How do you do the splits? How do you do the splits? How did he do the splits, Jim?
He is an ageless wonder. He can do anything he wants. R-Truth is amazing.
Yes,
give that man a title.
R-Truth is actually the 6th member of the Wyatt Six.
He's the 6th member of the Wyatt Six. Yes.
I
think he is. Yes.
Yeah. That's the only thing I want. The only way that I will care about that, Jimmy, is if that's what they do.
And the Celtics got a shooting guard out of Creighton.
Let's go.
Baylor Steinerman.
Omaha.
Not Bronny James. Up. Not Bronny James. It would have been nice for Bronny James.
Bronny's going to be drafted tomorrow at like 5:30 in the afternoon, the way that every NBA basketball player was intended to be drafted.
How's the NBA like? Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should have. Well, I mean, who knew? Who knew when the debate was going to be? But
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there's a debate that we've seen 2 times before between 2 candidates that nobody really wants to be president. I'm pretty sure that's why it's going to be the afternoon tomorrow, Jimmy.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcast network. In the Ring with Jimmy, Rod, and well, Chris, we miss you.
Chris, we do miss you, my friend, and I'm just going to go ahead and do my best at bringing this home. I can't say it like you, and I can't say it like LA Knight, but I can say goodbye, net. Yeah.